Today I'm just harvesting the last 2 frames of my Flow Hive before I remove it for the fall or winter. And I just want to check the hog frames that I put in, the Hog Comb frames, the new Honey Super that I was trying out this year. Didn't work out on the first hive I put it on, so I moved it to another hive that's a little more productive with its honey. So I'll check that after I'm finished my extraction with the Flow Hive, just so that the bees don't get worked up about what I'm doing today. So come and join me. Alright, so it looks like I've started in the middle, so I won't extract that, but we can do this frame and that frame haven't been done yet. I do notice this one was full on the outside, so now they're starting to take that honey out. It is capped here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open all the remaining and just let the honey drain back into the hive. And then I'll take this off once all the honey's back down. So probably tomorrow I'll pop off the flow frame, let the bees clean it up in the yard, and then put it away for the season. Yeah, so let's get started. So if you haven't been here before while I do this, all we do is pop that open. We're going to pop this open, and I'll crack open the other parts once I'm done. I just don't want to stir up any bee action. So I had a huge problem with ants falling into my honey, so I just have a cloth, a damp cloth, to kind of wipe it up as we go. And up is open and down is closed for the key. And I'm just putting the key in like that and turning it, and that's all you need. So the honey's already coming out with a dead bee apparently. So hopefully I can grab that. Go. So it does look like it's pretty gritty in here. There's dead bees, little bits of propolis, that sort of thing. So I'll definitely have to filter this honey. The last time I didn't, there's a few things in there, but I managed to get them out. So I'll have to filter this honey when I bring it home, unfortunately. But this was my dream, just to be in a bikini, carefree, doing this. So what I might do is actually get my other hive back from my brother that I gave him, my other Flow Hive, now that I've finally figured this out, and put them all back into order. I'm just gonna tap the one next to it too, actually, while I'm right next door. I'll be able to catch it. Smells so good. I love extracting with the 2-frame manual extractor because I just smell like my hair smells like honey. It's just this beautiful smell. I'm just letting the wasps drown in there, and I'll just filter them out when I get home. The first one here is just full at the bottom. I can see it all. So I was making beeswax candles a week ago now, and I didn't record it because it's just boring. I just pour it into the molds and wait for it to set. But anyway, I got a serious burn on my hand from the wax. So I had wet hands, I had just washed them, and then some of the water had dripped into the wax and it popped, landed on my hand, and then when I went to wipe the wax off, it wiped a layer of skin off. It hurt so bad. Not fun. Here come all my waspy friends. Let's hope they drown. Let me know in the comments below whether you find these Flow Hive videos interesting or you'd rather me just do the regular beekeeping in a bikini with the Langstroth regular hives, or what you prefer, because to me this seems like a little boring to watch, but for me it's great. So maybe I just won't record my use of the Flow Hive every time, but if you don't mind watching it, just let me know. You'll notice that I've tipped the Flow Hive back a bit just so that it flows easier, but I will tip it up before we get into the winter season, just for moisture runoff and that sort of thing. Although I do leave the screen bottom board on, so it doesn't really matter that much, but it just helps with, you know, ice buildup and that sort of thing at the front entrance. But you are supposed to tip them back a little bit, just so that the flow of honey comes out a bit faster and goes the direction you want it to. So I'm just going to close this one, so down is closed, because it's just dripping really slow. And then I'll put that cap on here in a minute and let the overflow just flow back into the hive. So there we go. And there wasn't much left in there. These two are still going strong, so. These two cells I'm just going to open and let them flow right back into the hive, the two frames I mean, because they're not capped and there's not a lot going on. So I'll just let them take that and then I'll extract the last frame there. So now any honey will just go right back in. And all the Flow Hive is really doing is it separates the center point here, which splits it, and then the honey on this side flows down the middle and then into this reservoir, and then when you put the spout in, it comes out the spout. So you're breaking that seal in the middle, as opposed to when you're regularly beekeeping, you're going from the outside, scraping off the wax and spinning it out. So you're kind of working from the inside here. So the bees don't even know it's happening when it's capped. As you can see with this frame here, some of them are starting to chew into it, realizing that the honey is not there anymore. But the ones that are capped here, like, they have no clue it's happening until they kind of realize, and then they'll start getting in there. So it's an interesting concept. It took me a long time to kind of get the hang of it. But these two, as you can see, I've opened it, but I've left the caps in, so I can see the honey dripping out and back into the hive. So then the bees will clean that up, store it in the brood chamber, and then tomorrow I'm going to pop the whole Flow Hive flow frames off, leave it out for the bees to kind of clean it up for me, and then I'll put it into storage for the winter. And it's super neat that they're doing that. So let's just check the viewing window for a minute. See what's happening there. Yeah, so as you can see, it's fully capped. And the bees have no idea we're extracting right now. They will know. You're gonna say, hey, there's nothing in here. And then they'll start opening those up. So that's kind of why I'm leaving it another day on here before I pull it off, because I want these girls to open it up and get out anything they want. And then I will put it out for everyone else to snack on. But so cool. Because it's just drizzling out now. So down is closed. And then just gonna pop that out, put the plug in, let the honey drip back into the hive. But when these frames are really full, I can fill probably one of these, what's this? A 5 kilogram container or pail with just one frame, and there's 6. So yeah. So there's no turnover time for the Flow Hive. Once you crack it, extract, the cell's already built, the wax is already there. They've already started, so once you close those off again, they'll just start putting new honey in it. So that's really nice in the summer, is that like I don't need to like take them off, put a new super on, they have to rebuild the comb, all that stuff. Not that I scrape off the comb, but if you're someone who does. So that's also very convenient. So I'm excited to try this out again next year and hopefully extract it a little sooner in the season. And now that I have kind of figured out how to do this, I'm going to do what I did this year, and I poured honey on top of the flow frames and a little in each cell, and then I put the flow frames on. And you can see on the sides here, like they've really sealed off everything with propolis, and you don't really need to take these out unless you want to check if it's capped. You can tell from the end if it's capped or not, because all the cells are filled, and you can kind of see in there on an angle. So yeah, this first one's almost done. So this plug just popped off and honey just kept pouring out. Oh my gosh. I guess it was like so much pressure behind the plug because it just sits there. Now I'm really gonna attract the freaking wasps. That sucks. So I'm just gonna close this one off now because it's slowing down a lot. Looks like I'm gonna have to switch out my container real quick. So it's full to the brim. There we go. Put a lid on that and drown all these goddamn wasps. Looks like there's a fair amount of honey sitting here and here, so I might go back and get those. It's just being impatient. while the Flow Hive is still going there, because I'm impatient and I can't sit still, I'm just going to check on the Hog Comb Super. Looks like there's lots of activity. So what I did is I put a bag of syrup inside a deep inner cover just to bring the bees up. I'm gonna need a hive tool. So I put a bag of syrup on top just to bring the bees up. So let's see how they're doing here. They're doing absolutely nothing. What a bummer. So maybe what I'm thinking for next year, obviously this isn't going to work this year, is to put this first on top of the brood and then a regular honey super on top of that to bring them like up and through, because they're not taking to it for some reason. So I think if they keep going through it to get to a regular super, that they might take to it more. So I think I'm gonna pop this off. Certainly don't need the deep inner cover right now until it's winterization time. I do need my other cover. It's really on there. Oh! Just gonna put a veil on quick. Just don't like when they get in my hair. Or maybe I have it on upside down. I don't really know what's going on. That shouldn't matter though. This is always a disruption, removing the queen excluder. The queen excluder is just for keeping the queen out of the honey super so you don't get eggs and larvae in your honey. Work quickly and quietly and watch your hands. This is why I wanted to do this after, but I'm too impatient because I don't like sitting around waiting. But all these bees are going to be stirred up now. And then come check what I'm doing at the Flow Hive. You know, it'll be a whole thing. Well, I'll get back over to the Flow Hive. These two are done, it looks like. Very little coming out now. Ew. Ew. Sticky mess to clean up once this is done. Patient Liz is at it again. It's been literally 20 minutes. I'm still waiting. Whoa, this chair is breaking. As These are all over me. Just waiting for this one to finish up. Almost done. I'm way too ADHD for this though. In the summer it flows faster because it's warm, but it's beginning of fall right now, so. Shut this one down now. Get out of there, guys. Just gonna wipe this and here. Okay, well that sums it up. Got probably 7 kilograms of honey, but I will need to filter that because there's a lot of wasps in there. I'm so sticky, even my butt is sticky. Thanks for coming out. Catch you in the next one. Bye.